वेब्रवीत् एवं परम्परा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदुः सकालेनेह महता योगश्चः परन्तप स एवायं मया तेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम् अर्जुन उवाच अपरं भवतो जन्म परं जन्म विवस्वतः कथमेतद्विजानीयाम् त्वमादौ प्रोक्तवानिति श्रीभगवानुवाच बहूनि मे व्यतीतानि जन्मानि तव चार्जुन तान्यहं वेद सर्वाणि न त्वं वेत्थ परन्तप अजोऽपि सन्नव्ययात्मा भूतानामीश्वरोऽपि सन् प्रकृतिं स्वामधिष्ठाय सम्भवाम्यात्ममायया यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्मसंस्थापनार्थाय सम्भवामि युगे युगे जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम् एवं यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति सोऽर्जुन वीतरागभयक्रोधा मन्मया मामुपाश्रिताः बहवो ज्ञानतपसा पूता मद्भावमागताः ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तां तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः काङ्क्षन्तः कर्मणां सिद्धिं यजन्त इह देवताः क्षिप्रं हि मानुषे लोके सिद्धिर्भवति कर्मजा चातुर्वर्ण्यं मया सृष्टं गुणकर्म विभागशः तस्य कर्तारमपि मां विद्यकर्तारमव्ययम् न मां कर्माणि लिम्पन्ति न मे कर्मफले स्पृहा इति मां योऽभिजानाति कर्मभिर्न स बध्यते एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः कुरु कर्मैव तस्मात् त्वं पूर्वैः पूर्वतरं कृतम् किं कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्षसे शुभान् कर्मणो ह्यपि बोद्धव्यम् च विकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यम् गहना कर्मणो गतिः कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः स बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु स युक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत् यस्य सर्वे समारम्भाः कामसङ्कल्पवर्जिताः ज्ञानाग्निदग्धकर्माणं तमाहुः पण्डितं बुधा च कृत्वापि न निबध्यते गतसङ्गस्य मुक्तस्य ज्ञानावस्थितचेतसः यज्ञायाचरतः कर्म समग्रं प्रविलीयते ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्महविः ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्मकर्मसमाधिना दैवमेवापरे यज्ञं योगिनः पर्युपासते ब्रह्माज्ञावपरे यज्ञं यज्ञेनैवोपजुह्वति श्रोत्रादीनीन्द्रियाण्यन्ये संयमाग्निषु जुह्वति शब्दादीन् विषयानन्य.
Good evening, one and all present here once again to be with us for this success mantra from Gita sessions. Myself, Harminder Mishra, and today I was quite enthusiastic after reading this 4 chapters of Gita. I prepared for this session, and that's why I have kept my background to the very place where Shri Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjun in Kurukshetra. So very nice to meet all of you once again this evening, and we will go ahead with our session. But before that, I would like to show you up the name of some people, not some actually, many people who scored full marks in the quizzes, past 2 quizzes, right? So I request my friend Himesh to put the slides up there. And this 1920 people will be getting a e-gift from our side as soon as this session ends at 8 o'clock. They will get a mail. So now people, that's one of the reason we ask for your mails, and we will be having some gifts for you, which you will receive on your mail as soon as the session is ending. I would like to announce their names here, and yeah, and you can see very soon it up on the slides right here. So the full marks in the 2 quizzes are as follows. I will read from my mobile. And one more announcement is today we will be having one of our more friends who will be asking questions. Since he had asked good question, he will be there, Aditya. He will be joining us in middle of the session to ask few of his doubts. Similarly, if you have good questions, you can come up to this platform and ask the same to Shri Vrij Krishna ji. Hari Om Pandey, Bhakti Radha Krishna Malan, Chintaparli Sachin, Dhruva Piyush Shah, Gyanandrachari, Gautam, Rajendra Paradi, Raveen Garg, Shravan D. Rayal, Shreyas Goswami, Shubhrat Kumar Rath, Shwet Padma Rath, maybe brothers, Vikram K, Vishnu J, Sahana L, and N. Sahithi are those who have won the quiz. Thank you very much for your enthusiastic participation, and we'll look ahead be with you. So the gift voucher will be there 8 o'clock. Oh, we have with us Shri Vrij Krishna ji. Thank you very much once again to give your kind association this evening. I request you to move ahead. And today, as you know, we are going to overview of chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita. Shri Vrij Krishna ji, I request you to please move ahead and tell us something about Srimad Bhagavad Gita 4th chapter and the topic we are discussing today.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So I welcome all the participants who have come for this session, Transcendental Knowledge and to All Miseries. And I also welcome all the quiz participants whose names we had announced. So I thank them very much for very nicely participating in the quiz and got more than 10 out of 10 in 2 or more quizzes. So thank you very much. So let's begin with today's session. I'll start with a story. There was Mr. Patel going in the ship with his wife, and many people were there on the ship. And suddenly a thunderstorm came. And that thunderstorm, everybody was feeling worried about that thunderstorm. Everybody was running. But Mr. Patel was calm. And his wife was telling her, how you're calm? How can we calm in such a situation? Though everybody was running and not finding a place, but Mr. Patel was focus and calm. Though, so his wife asked, and he put a knife over his wife's throat. And the wife started laughing. What are you doing? I said, why are you laughing? I'm putting a knife over you. She said, I'm laughing because I know you can't do. I know you from last 20, 30 years. You can't do such a thing of putting a knife over my throat. So he said, Mr. Patel said, same way I know my Lord. He will not do any harm to me. He's there. So therefore, I am cool and calm. So therefore, we begin our presentation today is transcendental knowledge and to all miseries. So when you are situated, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. Bhagavad Gita 4.36. So just imagine that you are going in a ship and in the ocean there is great waves. Great waves are coming in the ocean and you are going turbulently on the ship in the ocean. And the tufan and your shipwreckage happened. And then you're in the ocean looking for a survival boat. And then a boat comes and you get into it. And all the miseries, they go away of the ocean, all the waves. And that's what the transcendental knowledge can do to us in this world. So, some revision from the last slide. Mantra 7, appreciate and count the blessings of God upon you. Mantra 8, duty itself is a reward. Right, right definition of duty itself is a reward. Right definition of success and failure. And mantra 9, work on God's account. And what we are going to learn today. So 1 to 4, knowledge, where, whom, how to receive. 5 to 12, we'll be talking about our activities of Lord Krishna like us. 13 to 23, work with knowledge. 24 to 33, sacrifice which leads to knowledge. And 34 to 42, transcendental knowledge to end all miseries of life. Now, a question comes very often, when was Bhagavad Gita spoken? So Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Lord Krishna to Arjuna 5,000 years before. Amazing. The whole world history is only 3,000 years old for us. But Bhagavad Gita was spoken 5,000 years before. And what's the proof? The place Kurukshetra and the Dwarka of Lord Krishna was found in excavation by Professor S.S. Rao. So he went near the Dwarka beds and found the whole city of Dwarka submerged under the sea, which was written in Mahabharata that after Lord Krishna left, the Dwarka was submerged under the sea. So this is scriptures, the Bhagavad Gita was spoken 5,000 years before. It's not a mythology, it's a history. And it is spoken for all mankind. Now let us learn what Lord Krishna is talking to Arjuna in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Evam parapraptim imam rajashayo viduhu sakalena mahata yogo nashta parantapaha. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. So Lord Krishna says, O Arjuna, I have appeared many times before and I've instructed this knowledge to sun god Vivaswan. But you do not know it because you do not remember it, but I remember it. So now the question comes, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita was lost and Lord Krishna is again speaking to Arjuna. So now the question comes amongst all of us is how can we learn Bhagavad Gita? So now all of you are having the chat boxes today on YouTube. So please write on the chat box, write in the comment if you also have the doubt and what's your answer. That should we learn Bhagavad Gita by ourselves, searching here and there, or do we need a bona fide teacher, a spiritual teacher to learn Bhagavad Gita? So write your replies in the chat box.
Yes, Rajikshnadas ji. This is a very important question because, as a sincere seeker of the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, even I have this question. Lord Krishna has been very merciful and has given us this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So, why can't I understand Bhagavad Gita just by reading it myself? Why do I need a guru, or what is a necessity for me to approach a guru to understand this knowledge?
Yes. So it's a very nice question you have asked. We can learn from here and we can learn from internet, from many places. Why we need a person to understand Bhagavad Gita, right? But my question to you, you're from PS Engineering College. Yes, Aditya? You're from
Yes.
PS, PS Engineering College. And why did you come to engineering college? You could have read from Google all your notes. You could have read from other different places. So why you felt a need to come to PSET College?
Because PESET is an authorized institution and its degree is recognized outside. So it has a value, because if I study engineering on my own, referring to books, nobody will recognize me as an engineer.
Right. So that means you need an authorized institute, you need authorized teachers, and you need authorized books. Right? So in the same way, so when it comes to learning material subjects, we need these three authorizations. But when it comes for spirituality, does not we need this thing? Authorized institute, authorized teacher coming in a parampara, and authorized books like Bhagavad Gita, isn't it?
Yes.
Apart from this, understand the concept. Like in this world, whatever we will see, whatever we'll hear, we believe upon that. Yes or no, Aditya?
Yeah.
Yeah. But there are things which we don't see, still we believe. We don't see air, but we believe it. We don't see how far the sun is, but we believe the dimensions of science that sun is very big and very far away. It gives the exact kilometers, how far it is, right?
Yeah.
We don't see the x-rays or the radio waves, but we believe on them. So that means, so there are three ways of knowledge. Prataksha, what we experience, see. Second is what we anuman, guess, like scientific knowledge, right? We make some hypothesis, then we prove it. That is scientific knowledge. But there is a third knowledge which comes only through Shabda Praman, which is aparesha. Like from science, we may not able to prove soul, and neither we can disprove soul from science because science is in the realm of matter. It cannot go to the realm of spirit by experimental observation. Same way, to know the end of the universe, we do not know. Same way, who is God? What does God does? So all these things neither science can prove nor science can disprove. This can only come if the Lord, Supreme Lord Himself tell us. So Bhagavad Gita is the word of the Supreme Lord. So if we see, there is a proper way of learning knowledge. So what is that proper way of learning knowledge? Is through bona fide sampradaya. So Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna himself has given the knowledge in the four sampradayas. Lord Brahma, Lakshmi, Lord Shiva, and four Kumaras. And Madhvacharya came in Brahma Sampradaya, Ramanacharya and Shri Sampradaya, Vishnu Swami in Rudra Sampradaya, and Bhargacharya in Kumar Sampradaya. And there have many branches who are spreading this knowledge. And we come in this Brahmadav Gaudiya Sampradaya. So now you understood that we need a proper bona fide sampradaya and person to get the right knowledge. Otherwise, we will get misled to understand knowledge which is beyond scientific observation there. But it is
Yes.
logical. Just as science is logical, this knowledge also is logical. And Vedas are the source of great knowledge. And Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the Vedas.
Yeah, what you said makes a lot of sense because the knowledge that is coming from parampara through a person is absolute because it is coming directly from Krishna. But how do I find a genuine guru? But how do I find a genuine person who can give me this knowledge?
Yes. So even I also had this question that who is a genuine guru, who's a genuine person, and I was searching. And I was wanting somebody who can actually teach me Bhagavad Gita. In 2004, while I came to ITBHU, I would every day go to temple and see all the 700 verses written on the Vishnath temple in Banaras. And I had a great desire if somebody can come and just teach me. And that's the time I came in contact with Srila Prabhupada's books and the devotees who are following Srila Prabhupada. And when I saw his books, whatever he will write, he won't write anything of his own. He will quote scriptures. Okay, scriptures say this. And I've learned from my guru this. So a bona fide teacher is one who is coming in any of these bona fide sampradayas and he has personally learned from his guru. Now, in terms of academic, we see some degree, we see some knowledge. We don't see a person's character. He may be smoking, but he can be a teacher, right? But in terms of spirituality, not only knowledge, but character is very important. A guru should walk his talk. So if you have to find a guru, one thing is coming in a bona fide sampradaya. Is he following his own teachings? Is he greedy for money? He gives some mantra for money, right? Is he, how does he deal with women, right? Does he maintain proper distance with women, seeing them as mother? Other than if he's a celibate, then he should consider everyone as mother. That way he should deal with every woman. If it's a grasta, then he should treat every other woman apart from his wife as mother. So these are some of the things. Then what is the essence of Bhagavad Gita? Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna that Arjuna, I'm giving you this knowledge because you're my devotee and friend. So that means guru should be a devotee of Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, Lord Ram. Yes, there. So these are the signs that you can find a genuine guru. So today, I would also like to tell you about something about Srila Prabhupada, who became a great, and Prabhupada disciples who became great inspiration for me. So as I said, we come in Brahmadav Gaudiya Sampradaya, which is coming. Lord Krishna gave this knowledge to Brahmaji, Brahmaji to Narad Muni, Narad Muni to Vyasadev, Vyasadev to Madhvacharya, and then to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then in the line coming Srila Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada's disciples who are present on this planet. And we are simply representing their teachings, what we have learned from them. So therefore, a bona fide sampradaya must to understand knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. That very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you because you are my devotee as well as my friend and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of this science. Bhagavad Gita 4.3. So, mantra number 10. Learn Bhagavad Gita only in a bona fide sampradaya from a teacher who walks his talk. And I would like to speak something more about Srila Prabhupada. So, Srila Prabhupada, as you see this photo, in 1922, his 1922, going 100 years back, he met his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, for the first time. And he said, so in the first meeting, can you imagine that you are a gentleman? You speak English. Why not you go out and speak this language, this dharma of India, and give it to the whole world? Give this Krishna consciousness to the whole world. And he took this message to his heart. In 1965, with full preparation over decades, he went on the Jalduta ship. at the age of 70 years with only 40 rupees with him. And he suffered 2 heart attacks on the ship. And when he suffered 2 heart attacks, it was very difficult time. But when he was sleeping in the night, Lord Krishna appeared in his dream and said, "Don't worry, everything will be all right." And next day, the Atlantic Ocean became pacified and it was a smooth journey. And for 1 year, it took him with a lot of struggles in America. There, he started preaching in America. And amazingly, by his purity, by his conviction, by his giving the message of Bhagavad Gita as it is, many Americans who have not never heard the name of Krishna, who not know about Indian culture, they became devotees and they start following our Indian culture, isn't it? So this was the benefit of one person, one genuine guru. And after that, he's circumlating the whole world 14 times, preaching in all countries there. And that way, he spread the glory of whole India to the whole world of this knowledge. Can you imagine? And today, his disciples are there whom we can connect, and we are gaining all that knowledge from them, what we are speaking there. So I personally seen my spiritual master who exposes all detachment, all these qualities, and does not want anything from us, just want to give spiritual knowledge. And that's the way we can attain this genuine knowledge. So does that answer your question, Aditya? Does that answer your question?
Yes, Krishnadas ji, that answers. We can find a genuine guru who is connected to the parampara.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. So we go ahead with our session. And now a question may come, okay, we have found a guru. But what we are expect to learn from a guru? Does a guru says, worship me, I am God? No, he's not a guru. If he says that I am God, a guru is a guru is one who says I'm servant of God. And that's why Lord Krishna in the fourth chapter, after telling to Arjuna, I'm giving you transcendental knowledge, and he's telling also what is this transcendental knowledge. A guru should tell about God, connect a person to God. That's how the person will find shelter and will be free from all anxieties by connecting himself to God. Now, a question comes. So now we will see divinity of Lord Krishna's birth and activities. Now, if we see here how Lord Krishna is taking birth, so he is not born like an ordinary child. He was came in the mind of Vasudev, and from the mind of Vasudev to the mind of Devaki, and then from the womb of Devaki he appeared. And when he appeared, he did not appear like a normal child. He appeared and immediately took a Chaturbhuj roop. Balam tad adbhutam. And he spoke, the Lord spoke, "Oh, Vasudev and Devaki, you are my great devotees. 2 births back, when you were Sutapa and Prishni, you had asked for me to have son for 3 births. And then the next birth you came at Aditi and Kashyapa. And this birth you have come as Vasudev and Devaki. So Lord's birth is divine, right? But it is his pastimes that is taking the form of a small boy. Now let's see. So difference between Lord Krishna and ourselves. The Lord takes birth from Vasudeva and Devaki, he is unborn, Aja. It is his pastime. It is his pastime. So Lord appears to have human-like form. His body is transcendental of a Atma. Like his body is not like us. His body is transcendental. How his body is transcendental? Like our body is made of bile, blood, bones. But Lord Krishna's body is completely transcendental, right? And Lord's body, and it doesn't have bones or anything like this. It's completely made of Satchit Anand. And he appear like a human being, but it's a lot of all living entities. And let's see how. So Lord Krishna, when he was a small child, one time he ate mud, and his brother Balram complained that he ate mud. And Lord Krishna said, I'm not eating mud. And Mother Yashoda said, Oh Krishna, please show your mouth. If the mud is not there, then I will understand. And when a small child Krishna, he opened his mouth. What Mother Yashoda saw, the whole universe. And she found herself also within that universe, the earth, the Vrindavan there. And she got amazed that what happened to my child. So though Lord Krishna was a small child, but he could show the universe. So when they were Jarasandh was searching for them, Jarasandh had put fire on the whole mountain, which was miles high. And Krishna and Balram jumped a miles high Parshava mountain from top. Now, normally, if a man jumps, what will happen? A fracture. But there was no fracture in their bodies because their body is completely transcendental. Lord Krishna saved Parikshit in the womb. When Ashwathama directed his Brahmastra towards Parikshit, so Lord Krishna, what he did? Lord Krishna, he saved Parikshit in the womb because his Paramatma in the heart immediately appeared in the womb and protected Parikshit. So, what is the difference between God and us? So, God is like, so just like you see matter, this doll is matter. Man is matter plus spirit, but God is full spirit. So, God is not like us, but God is divine. Now, a question comes, why does the Lord appears in this world? And this is a very famous story which every one of us heard. Like many people say that Lord, like some of the people says that there is no need of God to come. He can send his son, he can send his messengers, right? And why does he need to come? So I'll tell you one story. So one time, one Badashah asked this question to his minister. Ki, why your Lord has to come? You know, he can send messengers. The minister made a plan. So one day, the grandson of that Badashah, he was drowning into the river and immediately informed, Badashah, your son is drowning. Now, this Badashah, the king, rather than sending the rather than sending people, he personally removed all his armor, all clothes, and personally went and jumped into the river to save his son, save his grandson. So then Birbal asked, Are Ja Pana, you had so many people to save, but why did you personally had to go? And that king said, No, because this child is very loving to me. I don't want to take risk. So I personally come. The same way, God, because personally loves every one of us, so what happens? He wants to immediately come and save us. So he personally comes for us in this world. And that's what is said whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice or descendant on Bharat and predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. But there is a higher reason why the Lord comes. This is here. Janam karma chame divyam yam janam karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvataha त्यक्त्वा deham punarjanma na eti mameti so arjunaha. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So, why the Lord is saying that living attains my eternal abode? So, to attract us, Lord Krishna comes.
Shall I ask one thing from you? If you,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So first of all, thank you very much for giving this just last sloka that by understanding the divinity of Krishna's birth is a lot of spiritual benefit. Actually, that question was only coming. He can come to establish religion, but why he need to show his divinity? But now it's very clear that that divinity he shows as a mercy upon us only. One more thing I want to ask here is like, all right, there are paramparas and surely we should follow the bona fide system, but we see many people, they say either God is light, something like that. Some people say it's Paramatma or the super soul from within, which is the cause of all divinity. And now here today we are listening that it's Krishna who is the divine one. So can you just make it like common line in between all these things, like that spiritual light or this Paramatma, God, person is Krishna, Ramachandra. Like I want to understand that if it's possible.
Yes. So it's something a very nice question I ask, and everybody in India has doubt. Is God as Brahman, or what he is, who's Supreme Lord? Let's understand with analogy first. Is suppose you're a railway station and a train is coming, right? What you see the first thing?
See the front part of engine.
Yeah, you see the light coming in the night,
Yeah, in the night I see that bright light
light coming,
coming up.
right?
Yeah,
Then when the train comes on the platform, what you see? The
that
bogies,
engine,
the
gad gad gad.
compartments.
Yeah.
And when it comes, stops, and you go in the train, you see there are people.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Or you're going to a mountain. First, you see everything very shabby. Then, as you go across the mountain, there are some houses. And
Yeah.
then you enter inside, you see there is a person.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
same way, so the God has all these aspects. So, one aspect of God is his light, Brahman, his energy. And as engineering or as instrument of science, to feel God is some power, some energy looks very easy,
Hmm. Yeah.
very easy to understand.
Yes.
So, yes, God is energy. He's the source of all energies. He's the source of all power, right?
Yeah.
Beyond that, God is in heart of every living being. He's in our heart, right?
Okay.
And beyond that, when you understand God further, He's a person who can reciprocate with us.
Okay. So like in this, these three are like different, or one who is higher, who is lower. Like the light is coming from the person, or the person is coming up from the light. Like if we can see this distinction, or these three are separate.
Yeah. So it has different aspects of the same absolute truth.
Okay.
Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagwaniti, Shabdate. But just as you more go close, then you see there are people, right?
Hmm.
The people. So the God is the source of everything. And he is a person, but not a person like us. That's what I was explaining.
Yeah.
He's not, neither his birth is like us, neither his body like us, there. But he comes among us, the Lord, he comes amongst us to attract us. That I love you so much.
Okay.
Like, for example, Sudama, right? Sudama approached Krishna with some pho, chip rice. But what did Lord Krishna give him to Sudama?
So much wealth.
Yes, Lord Krishna gave Sudama opulent wealth. So if we love the Lord, we are always beneficial. Though the
Okay.
Lord is neutral to everybody, right? He's not partial, but at the same time, he's a reciprocal. If you connect to him, he connects to you very nicely. Why? Because it's reciprocal. So
Okay.
this is the mercy of the Supreme Lord,
Okay. It becomes more thrilling when we connect to the personal feature of that divinity.
right? And that's the
Yeah.
source for Paramatma and as well as the light, because we all need relationships.
Hmm.
And as we go further, we'll be talking more about the subject matter.
Okay.
Yeah. So as I was showing the train example I gave, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. So Lord activities are divine, not mundane. So what is the difference between any divine activity or mundane activity? Just think about it. Just write your answers in the chat boxes. What do you think a difference between any divine activity or mundane activity? Or activity which can touch your heart or activity doesn't touch your heart? So please write the answers. I'm seeing on the chat box. So please write your answers on the chat boxes. In the live chat, please write your answers. Okay, so many nice are coming. Sahiti Nasipali, divine activity is for soul. Soumya has written, Soumya Ranjan, divine activity helps us to calm down and have peace. Tarun Sai, which is pure in heart. Onkar Radhakrishna is done to please the Supreme Lord. Very nice. Yeah. Some more. I'm reading your answers, what you're writing. And material, yes, very nice, has come from Manish Madhukar. That material activity is linked with our material desire. Viresh has written, which is pure in mind. Nilima Sharma, divine activity is from the God and it connects our souls to His. Gautam Reddy, divine activity means happiness. Padmaja, divine is by heart. So I'm thankful that all of you have written very nice answers. And sorry if I couldn't take your name, right? Because there. So please keep giving responses like that. I'm feeling very happy that you're understanding the subject matter, right? So let's see what's a difference between a divine and a mundane activity. Selflessness or selfishness. So generally, any mundane activity, we have some purpose to achieve. And what Lord Krishna is saying, when I'm coming, or we are, habitual to do something, like it's a habit, hai, aadat hai karna hai, there. But Lord Krishna, when he's coming, he's doing any activity out of pure compassion. He says, I have nothing to give or take in this world. Lord Krishna says, I have nothing to give or take in this world, and I'm just doing this for the benefit of all the people. And if I don't do this, the people will also go to the wrong way. So, because Lord Krishna, in any pastime he is doing, maybe he's fighting on the battle with Jarasandha, whether he is, in Vrindavan pastimes, whether Lord Krishna is, stealing butter. So he's just doing to please his devotees. He doesn't want, because he's the owner of everything. He's the Atma Ram. All wealth is there. Like he killed Jarasandh through Bhima and he made Jarasandh's son as a king. He himself never became the king. He made Ugrasen as the king. Though he did so much for the Pandavas, but he made Yudhishthir as a king because he doesn't have anything to give or take. He just wants the benefit of all. Even all the soldiers who died in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, just by seeing Lord Krishna, they achieved very higher destination. So Lord wants good of all. So his activities are transcendental, and that's why whatever activities we connect with the Lord, we do for the Lord, they also become transcendental. And that's the art of performing karma yoga. That's the art of performing a karma. So Lord has nothing to gain from us. Now, this is one very nice example. Suppose there are prisoners in a jail and the president comes. The president also may be coming, like, alone he's coming. He may not show so much of his presidential thing. Now the prisoners think, oh, the prisoners think that he's also like us, president है, इसने भी कुछ घपला किया होगा और ये भी हमारी तरफ prison में आ गया है. But if you know the presidential power is what? That the presidential power can make a person go out of the jail. A president has a power that he can excuse anybody's murder, imprisonment also. But not knowing the power of president, they may blame the president only. So in the same way, Lord Krishna comes here to remove our suffering from this world. But if we think himself as a human being, we lose that opportunity. But on the other hand, we connect to Lord Krishna. We understand Lord is coming to show love to us for our benefit. So let's take benefit of his knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Let us try to follow what he's saying in Bhagavad Gita. Then we also can end all our miseries. And this transcendental knowledge which is the end to all miseries. So I hope you did you understand this matter or not? Right? Yes or no? But it's a very important subject matter what we are discussing. So write in your live chat, yes or no, if you understood this. And if you have any questions, you will get a link. There you put your questions. I will answer those questions at 8 p.m. at the end of the session. Okay. So Lord Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam stedam tathe bhajami ham. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Partha, because everything is coming from the Lord. But why not we directly approach the Lord out of love? Then the rewards are higher. So just like a judge rewards people according to their deeds and remain neutral, so the Lord is also neutral to all living entities while avoiding the result of the activities of people. But any devotee who loves him, who chants his name, who follow his message, he reciprocates to that person. He reciprocates to that devotee. Okay, so many have said that again, please. So I'll just repeat again that Lord, I hope you understood this example of the prisoner. Like the has a power, president has a power, he can release the prisoners from the jail. But suppose if the president comes in the jail, and prisoner think ये भी हमारे जैसा ही है. So they will be bereft of the opportunity because if they request to the president say छोड़ दो इसको छोड़ दिया जाएगा. Especially kings on those days has those powers. The same way Lord Krishna, when he comes in this world and when we connect to him, even after he has gone, see Lord's coming and going is like appearance of sun and rising of the sun and setting of the sun. So Lord Krishna appears. Like, do we say sun is there? Now the sun is set. Now sunset has happened, 7:43. But somewhere sun will be there. Yes or no? Though we are not able to see the sun. The same way Lord Krishna appears and Lord Krishna disappears. But he's always there, just like the sun. Somewhere his pastimes will be going on. But whether the sun is visible or not visible, the sun is there. But in case of Lord Krishna, when we call his names, we can have access to him. He's always there as Paramatma in the heart of all living beings. And that's what is a transcendental knowledge what Lord Krishna is trying to tell in Bhagavad Gita in the fourth chapter. And he's telling only my devotee will able to understand it. So if we take benefit of this knowledge, then we can also end all our difficulties in life. So mantra 11, beginning of spiritual knowledge, knowledge of soul, that we are not this body, but spirit soul. Same with transcendental knowledge, knowledge about Lord Krishna's birth and activities. So by knowing Lord's birth and activities are divine and Lord's love for us, we can be happy in our life. So one ashrama, now another very nice theme is coming. Chaturvarnyam maya shrishtam guna karma vibhagasha tasya kartaram api mam vidvat yati akarta avayam. According to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. And although I'm the creator of this system, you should know that I'm yet the non doer, being unchangeable. Now, what is the system? Understand. See, we know the four classes. Anywhere you go, you will find intellectual class, administrative class, mercantile class, and labor class. Now, what is a general conception in India that a person born in a Brahmana family will be Brahmana, person born in a Vaishya family will be Vaishya. But Lord Krishna is not telling this. He's saying that I only designed the system, but it is not based on birth. It is based on person's karma and guna. So many times people come. Now, for example, it's not necessary that a son of an engineer will become an engineer, son of a doctor will become a doctor. Though he may have a chance, but it's not necessary that this will happen. Why? This may not happen because everybody is a different personality. Everybody is a different personality, and a son of a doctor may not be a doctor. But whereas the son of a labor class person may be doctor. So it's according to the one's activities and the guna a person is. Like a person who intellectual class is generally in goodness, a brahmana. They're worshipping God. Kshatriya passion. So Lord has designed the system so that everybody gets elevated and come towards God. Like for example, a family. You see, in family, when the a family connects to God through some spiritual teacher, then what happens in the family? All family members they elevate, and that's why the system is made. So what we learn that today what happens, oh, any job which gives you high money you should take. No. See, different people have different tendencies. Some people may do good in painting, some people may do good as an engineer, some people may do good as an artist, some people may do good and at poetry or managing skills or different skills, and every work should be respected in the society. Now it's not that farming is bad. No, if you see in this lockdown time, the farmers are very much appreciated and they had a great role to play, right? So it's not that that the farmers are not appreciated. So when in a Vedic society, the Lord system, everyone is appreciated and every work is important. But today, what happened if you're an engineer doctor, very good, or if you're a farmer son, not very good. So this kind of artificial classification or making something high or low is not good and will lead to disruption in the society. So therefore, what we learn, no duty is inferior. Whether someone is an engineer, farmer, or laborer, all are meant for serving God. And if they are connected to God, then every duty is itself worship, as we learned in the last session. So now, Lord Krishna speaks about what are three types of action: vikarma, karma, and akarma, which we discussed last time also. So if you see, there are four pillars of dharma: truthfulness, austerity, mercy, cleanliness. And it said that in Kali Yuga, only one fourth of this dharma remains. The truthfulness is destroyed by gambling, because when you do gambling, it's cheating. Cheating you have to do. Truthfulness is destroyed. Austerity is destroyed by intoxication. If somebody drinks liquor, alcohol, smoking, drugs, that destroys the austerity. In same way, mercy is destroyed by killing animals. And cleanliness is destroyed by extramarital sexual relationships. There, any relationship between boy and a girl or man or woman which is not under the institution of marriage, also it destroys the cleanliness. And that's why these four things are called vikarma, action which produces bad results in future for a person. And we have already discussed the law of karma in the last session. Now karma, the pious activities done with desire to enjoy. So good activities which gives good birth to a person in the next life. So somebody gives charity to become rich. Next life, he becomes a textile owner. Somebody worships Indra to reach heaven in next life. So what is this? Now we say, okay, good things should be good. If you're doing good charity, what's the problem? See, as we were discussing, that we are not this body, but we are a spirit soul. So the soul is taking one birth after another birth, right? So soul is taking one birth, then he gives this body, takes another birth. So like this is going in the cycle of birth and death. So if he does something sinful activity, he's punished either in this life or in the next life for his act. Same way, if he does good, then is rewarded in this life plus in the next. But a problem is if you do good with a desire to enjoy in this world, you take another birth. And when you take another birth, there will be some enjoyment, but there will be some suffering. There will be disease, there will be birth, there will be old age, and there is death. So, how we should work in this world so that we do not take birth again? This is called akarma. And while doing work also, we do not remain in anxiety. So this is a great science of Bhagavad Gita, and that's why though karma is good, doing pious activities is good, but akarma is mentioned, which gives relief to us fully in this world. So I hope, did you understand this concept? So now we come to akarma, activities done for God. So by these activities, one attains God and never comes back to the cycle of birth and death, but goes to the spiritual world. Activities which are connected to God is called akarma. Krishna conscious is a science by which to make all our activities akarma. It is joyful to perform and the results are most joyful. Kevala Ananda Kanda. So how to do akarma? One is understood to be in full knowledge, whose every endeavor is devoid of desire for sense gratification. He is said by sages to be a worker for whom the reactions of work have been burned up by the fire of perfect knowledge. Now a question comes, how do I perform akarma? How I become a karma yogi? Right? Many people ask this question. So how do we do that? So this is the answer. Hearing about the Lord. That's how we do akarma. Trans activities, sense control, controlling our senses, regulating the senses, study of scriptures, charity, chanting the holy names. You remember in the second session we did the chanting and meditation. We do meditation. So this all the acts which leads to transcendental knowledge. Okay, so this is a very important formula, ABCD of spiritual life. If you follow this ABCD of spiritual life, this is something, a practical application of the knowledge we are learning, and you will find a great change in life. The first principle is A, association of saintly people. Like you're coming and hearing what I have learned from my guru. Because my spiritual master is a great saintly person, I'm repeating his knowledge. So you are associating with saintly people through this attending the sessions, books, reading like Bhagavad Gita. So if you read Srila Prabhupada's book Bhagavad Gita as it is during the sessions, you're following the second mantra B, chanting the holy names of Lord daily. So if you remember what we did in the second session, we'll again introduce in sixth session. So please keep coming for the sessions further. And the diet, offer bhoga to Lord and take, which we will tell you once. Now because of lockdown we don't have facility, otherwise we would have sent prasadam of the Lord. And E, engage, make your work as offering to God. You can sing for the Lord as kirtan, you can paint for the Lord, you can give charity for the Lord, whatever you're working, and you can use whatever, clean the temple of the Lord, make your home as a temple of the Lord. So by doing this, our all activities become divine and it frees us from all miseries. And now the verse number 34 says, when now we had already learned how to gain knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. But actually, when you go to spiritual master, how do you behave? How do you do? So what is tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya updekshanti te jnana jnanina tatdarshina. So go to a self-realized soul who has imbibed the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. So what we should do? Submissively hear from him. Serve him. How serve him? Asking questions to him, following his instruction. If he's telling read Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavad Gita. If he's telling chant every day, chant every day. So that way when we serve and we submissively hear the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and ask the questions, then what happens? We also gain transcendental knowledge which will solve all problems in our life. It will give answer to all our confusions, all our questions. This is the power of transcendental knowledge. I hope it's making sense for all of you. And then Lord Krishna says, Yena bhutani sheshani drakshasya atmanyato mai. By transcendental knowledge, this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mine. Right? So what does this mean? That we understand, yes, Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and as Paramatma, He's seated in everyone's heart, and everybody is a son of the Lord, whether it's a Christian, Muslim, whether it's a poor or rich. And when we have such knowledge, many problems in our life will get solved. Many relationship problems, many vision, the way we perceive the world will change, and we'll feel a great peace in the heart. And more we will learn about this in the next session, right? More we will learn about this in the next session, that what we are going to learn. So, end of all miseries by transcendental knowledge. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatpara sanyata indriya jnanam ladbha param shantim achirena digachati. One attains peace and ends all miseries by two ways. If one remains dedicated to this knowledge, control his senses. There's two things if we do. Control senses means don't do vikarma, don't engage in sin, right? Don't engage in sin, but remain dedicated to this knowledge of transcendental knowledge. Then one will attain peace. So today's conclusion. So mantra number 10, approach a bona fide spiritual teacher to get knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Mantra number 11, by knowing Lord's birth and activities are divine and Lord's love for us, we can be happy in our life. Mantra 12, no duty is inferior if it's connected to God. Mantra 13, ABCD of a spiritual life. So this is the whole chart, what we learned today. So transcend knowledge and to all miseries. So we understand knowledge of Bhagavad Gita should be received through disciplic succession from a teacher. Why do Lord come to this earth? To establish religion, to reciprocate with his devotees, to enact his divine pastime. Then up to end miseries approach a great soul submissively here, ask him questions, serve him. Then four pillars of character of dharma: truthfulness, austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and the ABCD formula, what we learn: association, book reading, chanting, diet, and engagement. So these are the quiz parts toppers who have got 10 by 10 or more quizzes. So I request everybody to fill the quiz today. So thank you very much for this session. And next week, we are going to have something very special. What we are going to learn next week? What is liberation? How to be happy in life? Peace formula. How can be peaceful in all situations of life? So many questions came to me. How can I see the situation? How can I see the situations? How to have nice relationships with everybody? And what are the benefits of the knowledge of soul? So all these things we are going to see tomorrow 7 p.m. So I will love if all of you there for that session, and it will help us a lot. So now we have completed the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and I would also like to see the questions. So I would like to see the questions. If the questions they have, I want to answer the question.
Uh, Thank you very much, Rich Krishna Das ji, for so nicely explaining us the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And it was night summary study. Also, we are surely looking ahead for this session tomorrow. So I can see in my own mobile some of the questions. I gonna ask you it now. And the question are as follows. Yeah, we have got many questions today. Okay. Yeah. One question by Chetan S. The question goes as follows. Can I read Skanda Puran by Vishwamitra Maharshi? Yeah, can I read Skanda Puran? See, I will make up the question in right way. Chetan S. He is asking, can I read Skanda Puran? He wants to understand the description where Vishwamitra sends Trishanku to the heavenly planets.
Oh, yes, we can read Skan Puran. The Puranas are also bona fide. They're bona fide sources of spiritual knowledge. And we also refer to Bhagavad Puranam, Shrimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana, so you can read. And
O-
parallelly attend the sessions of Bhagavad Gita to understand more deep knowledge about these things.
Okay. Kiran Babu Shetty is asking, what do we mean by not taking birth again? If we don't take birth again, what happens to us?
Yes. So Lord Krishna says, Taktva deham punarjanma na eti mameti sa Arjuna. So you don't take birth again, you go to spiritual world and enjoy there forever.
Okay. So that's the thing. You go to spiritual world back. So is I am also quite thrilled about spiritual world. Are we going to discuss spiritual world sometime in these sessions?
Yes, as our sessions goes progresses, we'll discuss more in detail about the spiritual world.
Okay,
So please
thanks.
keep.
One question by Tarun Sai, and I like this question very much actually. Tarun Sai ji is asking, Guruji, he's telling to you, I am trying to work very hard. I'm studying very hard to get a job so that I can earn money, food, and many other things for my parents and make them happy. Is this my dharma or am I selfish?
Yes, very nice question. Even I did have. So it's a duty for children to take care of parents, to serve them, but connect this duty towards God. So just like you are attending the sessions, make your parents also read Bhagavad Gita, come to God, and together have a nice Krishna conscious family there.
Hmm.
So by the your money, what you're earning, you make your parents do dharma, go to spiritual sites, go to places of pilgrimage, right? So that way, if you do, your duty will become service to God.
Okay. One question has there in the question answer portal. The question goes as follow. How to choose guru? Can I consider someone who is able to cure my diseases as a guru?
Even a doctor can cure your diseases. So will you consider him a guru? So generally, a guru is one who gives spiritual knowledge, who cures the disease of Atma. Because disease of this body could be cured by a doctor. Or
Okay.
some yogis also, they have power to cure the diseases there. But a real guru is who gives the spiritual knowledge. So he may cure disease, that is secondary. But can he give us spiritual knowledge?
Hmm.
So that's a spiritual guru.
Okay. So we have guru as a spiritual mentor preferred. Okay. The question by Gautam Reddy. Is it possible for everyone to get a bona fide guru or only some chosen souls achieve guru?
Yes, Srila Prabhupada would say, if you're looking for a guru, you will get it. Like
Okay.
Dhruva, many few examples there. Like many, when Srila Prabhupada went into the West, many Srila Prabhupada disciples came to India in search of guru, and they couldn't find person who is living his talk. But they went back to West, they met Srila Prabhupada, they understood that Srila Prabhupada is our guru.
Okay.
So if you're looking for a one, you will find it. You just have to desire it seriously. Lord will arrange because you want to know God. Like Dhruva, he wanted to know about God. Immediately Krishna sent Narada to Dhruva.
Okay. One very nice question actually. The person should join our team by the question is by Achyuta B.
Yeah,
Achyutabi,
before I take a next question, I want to
yeah,
make one announcement for all. I also wanted to know what all the participants are learning. So if
okay,
you write in the live chat that what you are a live chat or in the feedback when you're putting the quiz, if you're writing in the live chat, put your WhatsApp number so we can know. Preferably put in the live chat with your WhatsApp number what you have learned in these 4 sessions, because I want to know how I'm able to serve all of you is something personal. And if you give a very nice learning lessons, we may call you to speak your
realizations.
realizations if you permit. If not,
Okay.
yeah, if you
Yeah.
like it there. Okay, so please continue.
Yeah, that's very nice thing. Can okay, I'm anywhere there on the screen. Question is by Achyut B. He's asking that you are doing a very good job. Thank you very much by explaining this Gita in such an interesting way. But I also want to give but the society is going in a very different direction. Even if I want to change the society by providing this knowledge, it appears very tough to me what to do.
The society is going tough and the society is going different, but there is a hope. And what I could see in last 5 to 6 months, the direction of society is changing. That's what I could see. There's a hope. Like many people are looking for subject matters like Bhagavad Gita. Previously, they didn't have time, but now people are finding out time because it's a lockdown. Many places, the work is not going very. The business, the work. So many people are looking for alternatives. That why such sufferings like COVID is coming, why these problems are coming, and the answers to these questions are there in Bhagavad Gita. So it's a very, very favorable time now that if we go out, many people are ready to understand it. That's what my understanding says. And there will be some people who will oppose it. But a time later, see, many times what happen in youth, people are very passionate. They don't want to hear all this. But as the time grows, they want to understand. And if in youth they learn, it's the best.
Okay.
Earlier you learn it, it's the best. Let so whenever you learn is the best, but the earlier you learn, the spiritual knowledge is the best. So you find out people who can know it and teach them this knowledge or bring them for such sessions.
Okay. One question is by we still have 7 minutes to go. So can I ask more questions?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
please. Go on.
Abhishek Singh is asking, are how to explain others the difference in Lord Krishna and other devatas like Durga, Ganesh, Shiva, etc. Especially to my family members. I love Krishna very much, but I want to make them understand that Krishna is the supreme. This is the question.
Yeah, so your question is a genuine one, and we will discussing more this in the 7th chapter, that
Okay.
how to understand the relationship between Shiva, Durga, and other demigods. And if you directly maybe force the parents, it may be difficult for them, but you may introduce Krishna to them and
Okay.
slowly give them knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Slowly they will learn about
Okay.
as you are
Uh,
learning coming to these sessions.
we have got a question from a student, and I think this is quite a serious problem, but very urgent. Miss Hamsini is asking how to get happiness when parents called us without any reason at home on behalf of many friends.
I mean, I didn't understood the question.
Some school children are asking, they're 15-year-old, and they're
Uh,
sincerely asking that how to get happiness when your parents call you at home
okay,
without any good reason.
okay,
Scolding,
parents
scolding, yeah.
scold. Okay, scolding.
Chastising
Yeah, that's a difficult one. That parents are scolding,
without reason.
and and somehow I didn't had much experience of that because my parents are very loving. So, but what I could see is you should see you empathize with them. They may be scolding because they may have some anxieties, but they love you very much, right? They're taking care of your education fees. They're taking care of so many things for you. Their mother is cooking for you, isn't it? So many things they are doing for you, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if you can empathize that sometimes they may have some kind of frustration and some kind of problems, and they're looking for all that. So if you empathize, you can control yourself. And one thing is chant Hare Krishna. That
Okay.
will give you power to tolerate the scoldings. And later on, you can tell when your parents are in good mood that no, when you scold, I feel very bad. If you tell me nicely, I will try to serve you and follow what you say. So that may cool the matter. Depends on what situation you are. So that's what my understanding says. How can you be helped?
Okay. One more question has come up, which is quite different the track, but I feel maybe important. The question is from uh, Mrs. It's from I'm not able to read the name properly here, but the problem is that it's by Mrs. Devi Prasad Pondicherry. It's Mr. Devi Prasad Pondicherry. The question is, as per the teachings, the earth is created by the creator. My physical body is subjected to the rescares conducted by another spirit present in my body. Why should I pray, and to whom why should I pray theoretically? Okay, so the question goes as follow, that the creator has created my body, and due to the body I am suffering pain. If creator himself has created the suffering and the body which is getting suffered, why should I pray to him only?
Oh, very good question. Many people, even in the West, feel that if there is God, why there is suffering?
Yeah.
Because God should be all good. And if He's giving suffering, why should I worship a God? Or maybe God is not all powerful. That's what many theories people come to know. So for this, we have to understand law of karma. That any suffering we are going, we are responsible for that. Like, and we discussed the law of karma in our last class. If you slap somebody, the other person will slap you instantly. If somebody drinks liquor, the reaction come after 30 years in form of liver damage. If you don't study, the reaction come after 1 year in exam results. So same way, there are some reactions which come after 1 year, and that's why I
Okay.
was explaining that Lord is a judge. Who is a Lord is a judge who is explaining, who is giving the results of our activities.
Okay.
But if we turn to Him, then and we lament on our past and we take shelter of Him, then He can reduce all the miseries coming in our life. And now we start acting nicely, like a karma, connecting to God, then our future will be very nice and happy.
Okay.
So we are responsible for suffering, but by taking shelter of God, we can be removed from the suffering. And more depth of this answer you may understand when we will discuss maybe future sessions. Why does the soul come to this world? Did God send him or did he come? So actually, the soul comes by his own desire to this world, not God doesn't send him.
Okay.
And more depth of questions we'll discuss. So as you keep coming, there, I
So the
hope that that would have answered your
question.
question.
Yeah. So the last question for today, because we are running out of time, we have 3 minutes left, is by Mr. Rakesh, and he's asking that in Varnashrama, what you said as Lord Krishna gave in fourth chapter of Gita, for Brahmin class, another rules are given, like not to eat meat. For Kshatriyas, another sets of rules are given, like they can eat meat. So in Varnashrama, we find different rules for two different Varnas, and then it creates conflict amongst them.
See, we follow Devi Varnashram, where everybody chants the name of Lord and everybody follows the four pillars of Dharma.
Okay.
No meat eating, and we don't do intoxication. So all these things we follow. Now in the Vedic time, there are varied versions of this. The Kshatriyas allowed meat. See, first of all, you should understand who is a Kshatriya. Kshatriya is a one who can go in the jungle and kill a lion.
Hands,
So
yeah.
are there people like that who can go in jungle and kill a lion? So if you call a Kshatriya according to Vedic definition, then kill a lion.
Bare
And then
hand
other
sometimes.
with bare hand, yeah. So that's what will make difference. So whatever dharma, if we do it nicely, Therefore, the whole this system, what we're talking, is disrupted, and that's why many people see what is this caste system is all derogatory. Yes, what the modern practices are there. There are some evil practices which you have to do. Therefore, we follow Devi Varnashram. Devi Varnashram means everybody is a soul, part and parcel of God. So even somebody is a sweeper, we respect him, and even a sweeper can chant the holy name of God and go back to Godhead. A
Yeah.
Brahmana can chant the whole Panditji can chant the holy name of God and go back to Godhead. Somebody is a software engineer, he can chant the holy name of God, Lord, and go back to spiritual world towards the Lord to enjoy. So that is Devi Varnashrama there. And
Yeah.
everybody follows the same principle and elevate themselves.
Okay. Thank you very much. Today we are just on time, 8:15. Very grateful to you for answering the questions and giving such a nice overlook of fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So the announcements you made quite good. Quizzes, please take it seriously. The names will be announced, and you must have got your e-brochure by now. Please send your realizations so that it will help us, and you can even speak up your realizations you learned from these sessions. The quiz will be coming up on the chat box. Please fill up the quiz and send the answers to them anytime you can personally. Thank you very much, Rich Krishna Das ji. We are
Thank you.
meeting tomorrow again. Uh, uh, or yeah. So thank you very much. Have a nice
Thank
time.
you.
A good week.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hare Krishna.